Oh my god, I love rock and roll. Me too, buddy.
Rock and roll!
This is gonna suck. Hey guys, just so you know, this week's episode is brought to you by Old Jed's Homemade Shine, made here in Regina, Saskatchewan. Let's test this bad boy. It's good. Hey guys, welcome to Classics I've Never Watched here on Rotting Flesh. I'm your host, Billy Pop, and I'm highly sexually aggressive. Anyway, gang, tonight we are going to lock our doors and bar our windows and try our best to avoid the Prowler. But we are not going to avoid reviewing the movie The Prowler. This episode is dedicated to my good buddy Justin because he told me to watch it. And to be honest, I've been wanting to check this out for a long time. The Prowler is yet another movie from 1981, just like Funhouse. And it's directed by Joseph Zito. And the letters in the opening sequence go from orange to red, just like in Funhouse. 1981, you remind me of fire colors. The movie starts out with a breakup letter written from a girl named Rosemary to her boyfriend. The letter says that she's young and wants to live her own life, and that maybe they can be friends later. And the next thing you know, she's off banging your brother and totally screwing around knee-deep in penises. Anyway, at a graduation dance in 1945, there is a really condescending, sarcastic guy.
What does he do, sweep it with his eye? Sounds like a swell guy. What's the matter? Afraid somebody will tell your daddy? My dad's got even more money than he does.
The sarcastic guy is now dating Rosemary. All is well until something comes lurking out of the shadows.
A Prowler.
They die. There's this badass killer walking around with World War II combat gear. Totally ominous and creepy looking. In June of 1980, 35 years later, a girl named Pan wants to bring back the graduation dance. She visits the sheriff, and her and him talk about how Major Chatham's daughter was Rosemary, and he doesn't want the dance to happen. He's a crippled guy. I want to say that guy will probably be our killer. Hello, this is future Bill talking to past Bill. You were wrong. The sheriff says that there has been a murder somewhere nearby, and he suspects that the killer will show up in their town. When Pam's boyfriend, a rookie cop named Mark, asks the sheriff if he'll call off his fishing trip to protect the town, the sheriff has this to say.
I can't start the summer without fishing. Now, you know that. I never could.
Just doesn't give a fuck.
Well, Captain, if your men are after him, I don't think there's anything to worry about.
That's 2 fucks he doesn't give right there.
You're damn right it's my fishing trip. And if you bother me about anything, Bill, I'll kick your ass right across the state line, okay?
Okay, he really doesn't give any fucks. So a couple of Pam's friends get murdered. And she goes back to her dorm room to fart around before she gets confronted by the aforementioned killer firsthand. In a very suspenseful scene, she barely escapes because Major Dickhead grabs her and won't let her go. Pam and Mark look for Major Chatham for what feels like forever.
Major Chatham? Major Chatham! Major Chatham!
Major Chatham?
They eventually end up at the graveyard, where Mark finds the casket of Rosemary from the beginning of the film dug up and opens it to reveal Pam's friend's dead body. Mark and Pam attempt to get a hold of the sheriff, but he's gone fishing. Bait your fucking hooks, eh? Pam, being the heroine, has a final showdown with our killer and ends the movie on a very high note, painting the wall in 3D red. Guys, I am so happy Justin told me to watch this. This movie has to be a damn near perfect slasher movie. Like, some of these scenes gave me goosebumps. The Prowler was directed with a knowledge of the slasher genre. It was like Zito knew exactly how to make a movie like this. The sets were creepy and the atmosphere was pitch black, and it, like, throw suspense at you like Black Christmas and My Bloody Valentine or spit roasting Halloween. The writing wasn't the best, but being how this is a slasher movie, I don't think I'm going to complain too much. The pacing was off at times when they were trying to make the movie a little bit more suspenseful, and it hurt the movie a little bit. Because when shit actually did pick up, it went all the way. The acting was good, although the characters weren't exactly anything special. Pam was probably the best character, aside from the badass motherfucking killer. I mean, this guy, as soon as he set foot on screen, was intimidating as fuck, even though it would be super hard to see out of his little eye holes. The dialogue wasn't as campy as I was expecting from this era. Mind you, Funhouse was made in the same year, and it was pretty decent for dialogue as well. The music was very generic, but every now and again it had this shrill violin sound that was pretty cool. The gore effects in this movie were seriously astonishing. Tom Savini, the godfather of gore, did the amazing, long, drawn-out, totally uncut death scenes in this film. And maybe it's because most of the films he did were cut to shit by the MPAA, but this felt like his absolute best work I've seen to date. I mean, it's really brutal. This is the slasher movie to watch from the 80s for the death scenes alone. Can I recommend The Prowler? No. It's the shit. If you haven't watched this and love slasher movies, go on Amazon and buy this shit right now. It will be worth every penny. I give this movie 9 out of 10. It would have scored a perfect 10, but there were a few slow parts. Thank you for watching, guys. Feel free to check out my band, Billy and the Guttersnipes, on SoundCloud as well, if you like punk music or folk music and such stuff like that. Subscribe to me and get a free cat. That Magic Production.